The following is a production of the Averett Sports Network. The following is a production of the Averett Sports Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to live coverage of Averett University baseball here on the Averett Sports Network. As we're just getting underway, first pitch is a strike from T.J. Viracola as the Cougars wearing their white jerseys. That's ball number one to Lorenzo Calderon of Marymount University. Apologize for our delay in getting on the air. We had some internet issues, but I think we've got those taken care of as Calderon swings and misses for strike two.
And junior T.J. Viracola getting the start tonight for the Cougars. Looks to play a important factor here in the Cougars pitching rotation this year, Drew, as he will be one of the weekend starters along with Joshua Hatcher and Daniel Elliott.
And he gets a swing and strike three for out number one here. And the Cougars start off the 2016 season on a good note. So that'll bring up Luke Tyree, the center fielder for the Saints, here with one out. Thanks for joining us. My name is Drew Wilson. I'm joined by Davin Wilson. And it's 2/3 of the Sports Information Office here at Averett. Ball hit up the middle. Dive by Calvedano, but it gets through, and it'll be a single for Tyree.
And Drew just took a little bit of a tough bounce on him right there in the infield, and perhaps with it being so cold outside, the ground is awfully hard out there, and it's going to take some awkward hops on you. So, and we have number 10, Berzik, coming up for Marymount.
So Bursek will step in with a runner on and one out. It's been an interesting day. It looks like the sun's trying to peek out, but we've been having a little bit of some snow flurries going along this afternoon. And Bursek hints at a bunt, but pulls it back. It'll be ball one.
And Drew, that's one thing I never thought I would do in my lifetime, go to a baseball game in the snow, but it has happened.
It's always a good time. Tyree with a small lead, but he's going to be sent back to first on pickoff move by Viracola.
And Drew, going down in practice the other day, that was one thing that Fulton was working with both his starters and his relievers on, were their pickoff moves and protecting against delayed steals. So,
and there goes Tyree, and he's going to get in there just beyond the tag for the stolen base.
That was a good throw there by Wall, and just the runner was just a little bit quicker there.
He had a good jump, and throw was a little bit to the front and on the shortstop side, and he was able to slide in right behind it. So he gets over to second here with one out in the top of the first inning. 2-0 pitch on the way. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Good off-speed pitch by Viracola.
And he's got some tough breaking pitches to go along with his fastball. So it's going to be interesting to see him mix those up tonight and see how effective they are for him.
Viracola joined the starting rotation last year after being a bullpen guy his first couple of years. Good pickoff move, but nobody there. He had Tyree fooled at second base. So 2-1 count here to Bursek. Pitch on the way, misses low and outside for ball 3. Cougars, of course, opening season today here against Marymount. Both teams were scheduled to open the season on tomorrow, but with the cold temperatures expected to not even get into the 30s, they decided to move the game up to today. I know I'm very thankful for that.
I am too, and I'm sure the players are as well.
As Viricola checks Tyree back to second base once more. 3-1 pitch. And misses outside for ball 4. So 2 aboard here with 1 out. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Blake. Coming to the plate, the designated hitter, Ryan Blake.
And we've got a lefty versus righty battle going here. And Viricola looking to dig in. He's got runners on first and second. But if he can keep the ball down, get a ground ball, he can very easily get out of this inning with a quick double play.
Runners showing movement, but nothing there. Ball's going to be popped up into shallow left field. And Vedano slides back and catches that one for out number 2.
And Viricola now 1 out away from working out of the stretch here, and hope he can keep it up. And Connor Hall is now the batter for the Saints. Viricola looking in, getting the signal from Wall. And here's the pitch.
Bell time for strike 1.
Another off-speed pitch there from Viricola, and that was a tough one.
Oh, 1 pitch misses just a little bit outside. Ball 1, that'll even the count. Cougars wearing their all-white unis today with the navy blue hats with the yellow brim. Some of them have the high socks with the stirrup socks with the gold and white stripes around the legs. And that one, check swing, but going to be taken for a strike.
And Drew, on a day like this, I wouldn't be surprised if they had maybe 3 or 4 pairs of them on.
I know I do. And I'm in the press box.
Yeah, I should have followed your lead, Drew. But I did not. I just have on the 1 sock or the 1 pair, and hopefully I won't pay for that.
Chopper up the middle. Ashworth there goes for the easy play at second base, and that'll be it. As the Cougars get out of the jam here in the top of the first inning, your score is still 0-0. You're watching the Averett Sports Network. And we're back here for the bottom half of the first inning. Since we're a little late going on, give you the lineup for the Cougars. And shortstop is Kyle Vedano. In left field, Dallas Smithers. Second base, Hunter Ashworth. The DH today is Mike Moore. Center fielder is Drew Evans. As Vadano walks up to the plate, we'll continue with the line in just a second.
And Drew really, and with Vadano and Ashworth and then Dallas Smithers, the Cougars really have 3 tough contact hitters coming up and will really set up the rest of the Cougars lineup. So we'll see what Vadano can do here at his first at-bat of the season.
Ball's going to be taken inside for ball 1. The rest of that lineup after Walsh in right field, you got Billy McLaughlin, senior, playing first base. Trey Wall behind the plate today. And third base, Noah Greenblatt. And, of course, Viercola on the mound. 1-0 pitch taken for a strike. So I'll even the count at 1-1 here for Vadano. Vadano coming off a solid freshman year. Really felt like he could have been the USA South Rookie of the Year last year. Really felt like he got robbed in that voting, unfortunately, as he takes strike 2. Had a great rookie season, batted .357 while starting in 38 games.
And also led the team in stolen bases last year, and really a big factor, too, for the Cougars in the infield at short. And he's the type of player who he gets down and, you know, he's not afraid to get in front of the balls and get into the dirt, and just does a great job out in the field as well as at the plate. So number 2, Dallas Smithers now coming up to the plate for the Cougars.
Vadano went down swinging there for the first out. So Smithers takes strike 1. Smithers, local product, but transferred here this year from UVA Wise. That's where he played his first year. Had a really solid freshman year at UVA Wise. But we're glad to have him here as he takes ball 1.
And he really is. He's one player that Fulton is very excited to have and is looking forward to the type of impact he can have on this Cougar team this year.
He's going to send this one to shallow center field, but lined right at the center fielder, Luke Tyree, for out number 2.
And Tyree playing his position well right there to get in front of that one. And for a minute, Drew, I thought that might drop in for a little bloop single, but Smithers a little unlucky in his first at-bat as a Cougar.
Yeah, just kind of hung up there, and Tyree had him played right in the right spot. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Hunter Ashworth, second baseman, in the third spot here in the lineup. He'll take a strike 1. Ashworth, another one of those local products. He's had a solid career so far for the Cougars, as that one misses just a little bit high for ball 1.
And that was a nasty off-speed pitch right there. And kind of just broke right at the last second, but it just a little too low.
That one misses outside for ball 2. So Ashworth ahead in the count here. Last year, Ashworth hit just under 300 for the season. Really came on with some power late in the year. Hit a few home runs. So he takes strike 2. Hit 1 home run, had 2 triples and 7 doubles last year.
And Drew, that home run he hit was dead to left field and just a heck of a shot.
And he gets under this one, pops it up, and it'll be out of play as Roy Coates gives chase for Marymount. But it goes out of play behind the plate. So he stays alive. 2-2 is the count here with 2 out in the bottom of the first inning.
And, Drew, you know, Averett really lost some big players, some big bats last year with Kevin Alvarez and Timothy Costin along with Taylor Davis. But really they have a lot of seniors coming back that can step in and fill those roles. And Ashworth is down swinging to end the inning.
All right, we're going to take a break here listening to the Averett Sports Network. We'll be back with the top of the second inning. But your score is still 0-0 here from Owen Fulton Field. And we're back here for the top half of the second inning. Brandon Savage will lead things off for the Saints.
And
Left fielder, also a lefty. He's out of Suffolk, Virginia. Still a few flurries here, but it's really lightened up from earlier as Savage takes ball one on the off-speed pitch. It's low and outside.
And the snow had started to stick a little bit out there on the warning track, so be interesting to see if that makes it a little slippier if the ball gets out that way.
That ball misses low and inside for ball two, so 2-0 count here to Savage. Pitch chopped back to Viracola. He grabs it and tosses it over to McLaughlin at first base for the first out. So good way to battle back there by Viracola.
And Viracola is a tough pitcher, as you mentioned, Drew, coming out of the bullpen last year to get quite a few starts for the Cougars and really earned his worth and is back this year as a starter and will be one of the Cougars' top starters too, either coming out of the number 2 or 3 spot, and will be one of the key starters on the weekend for Averett.
That ball popped out down the right field line, and Billy McLaughlin able to chase it down in foul territory for out number 2. So real quick work there. One pitch for an out. That'll bring up Evan Todd, the first baseman.
And if you're Ed Fulton right now, you really like that right there. One pitch, one out, and as long as Viracola can keep that pitch count down, no reason he shouldn't be able to give Averett 5 or 6 solid innings on the hill. And he looks in, he gets the signal, and it's going to wind and deliver. And first pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Viracola had a solid season last year. Ended up going 4-4 in the win column. And 12 appearances, 10 of those starts. Had 2 complete games, which was ranked second on the team, and finished with 55 strikeouts. One of 3 Cougars to have more than 50 strikeouts last year as that pitch hits the outside corner for strike 2.
And Drew, he will be backed up, by Joshua Hatcher. And Viracola and Hatcher are really going to be a tough combination for the Cougars, in the starting rotation.
That one misses way outside. Seeing they could get Todd to chase. He holds back and 2-2 count. That one chopped into right field, but Walsh is there to make the out, and that'll put the Saints away here in the top half of the second inning. We'll be back with the bottom half right here on the Averett Sports Network. And we're back here for the bottom half of the second inning. Mike Moore leading things off for the Cougars. And he takes ball high and inside on the first pitch from Bazemore.
You always hate to see them coming in so high at you, and doesn't matter how hard they're throwing. When they're up there around the dome, it is a dangerous, dangerous spot.
That one misses as well for ball number 2. Moore finding himself in the cleanup role this year. Had some really solid at-bats at times last year when he had some opportunities as he takes ball 3.
And Drew, talking with Fulton before the season started, he was really looking forward to seeing what Moore could do this year. And Moore is a player who's earned his starting spot.
And it looked like And we're back here, and Noah Greenblatt leading things off for the Cougars. Apologize, we had some technical difficulties. But we're back on the air here with the audio. As Noah Greenblatt leading things off, swing and a miss for strike one. Both teams looking for that first run. Both teams only have one hit apiece. Bazemore still on the mound for the Saints. Had a solid day so far. And Greenblatt will foul that one off to the right side. Again, I'd like to remind you, if you'd like to tweet at us, your tweet may be used on our webcast here. Just tweet at us at AverettUCougars on Twitter and hashtag AverettBaseball, all one word. And your tweet may be featured here on the Averett Sports Network. Bazemore looks in, 0-2 pitch on the way coming. And really high for ball one.
I think it's safe to say, Drew, he did not get over that one. Bazemore has done a good job of mixing his pitches and locations tonight, though.
And Greenblatt hits this one on the ground over to shortstop. Throw in the dirt, but great play by Todd to dig it out for out number one.
Really great pitching defensive effort for both of these two teams so far, and Kyle Fadano will now take the plate for Averett. And here's the pitch to Fadano. He takes it outside.
Bazemore with the pitch, and that one misses as well for ball two. And Vadano's going to foul that one away. Couldn't lay off that one. 2-1 is the count. That one in the dirt. 3-1. Have a little bit of action going on down in the Marymount bullpen. Nothing serious yet, just a little loosening up as Fadano takes strike two.
So full count now to Fadano.
Chops that one over to second base. Throw made, and Bursek gets Fadano for the second out.
And you really see Fadano right there, and he is a very speedy guy and really gets up on his toes and really just hustles down that first baseline or, wherever he's running, and speed is definitely a benefit for Averett.
Some guys will pull up if they see it's going to be in routine play, but I've always been under the impression as Smithers takes a strike, if you hustle down the line, you force them to hurry up, and maybe that gets them out of their rhythm, and they throw it in the dirt or throw it away. You never know. Put some pressure on them. 0-1 pitch from Smithers, or to Smithers, and he fouls that one away for strike two.
And Drew, you're right. When they see you coming down that line, and I'm sure from their scouting reports, they already know Fadano is a fast guy, and hoping to force that errant throw.
And Smithers hits this one right back up the middle, and Cougars have their second hit of the afternoon.
And Smithers also has his first base hit as a Cougar. And it's a hard shot up the middle. And Hunter Ashworth. So let's see what Fulton has planned for this one right here.
With 2 outs, it's probably just going to be
a regular
swing and go, maybe a hit and run. Might see Smithers take off here, try to get over to second base and get in scoring position. Obviously, that's what the Saints felt might be in the call as they throw over to first base with Smithers back in plenty of time. Smithers, the guy, has some speed. See if he uses it here. Another throw over to first base.
And one thing I'm noticing right now too, Drew, is Smithers getting very down low in that leadoff and makes it a little bit easier for him to slide back in.
Pitch on the way. Smithers is going. Ball's in the dirt, so he's going to get there safely. And Smithers with a stolen base. Has the Cougars in scoring position here with 2 outs. We'll see if they can do anything with the heart of the lineup up. Ashworth, the number 3 hitter right now. Has a 1-0 count. You got to imagine anything through the infield is going to score Smithers from second.
Especially with that lead he has right now.
Another ball in the dirt, and now ball 2. So Bazemore only in trouble for the second time today. If you remember, Drew Evans got to second base in his last at bat, but Bazemore able to get out of the jam. Ashworth will call time. Ashworth 0 for 2 today. Pitch on the way and pops this one up, and it'll get out of play over top of the first base dugout.
And you saw number 33, Roy Coates, right there doing a great job of getting up, locating the ball, getting the mask off, and just goes out of reach for him.
Two and 1 is the count to Ashworth. Now Bazemore will step off and go through the signs one more time. Smithers a good lead at second base. Nobody really covering him. Pitch on the way and high for ball 3. Now meeting between Coates and Bazemore. Make sure they're on the same page. Looked like maybe they might have gotten crossed up there. Coates was expecting that ball low, and it ended up coming in high.
And Ashworth, too, doing a good job of laying off of that one where the location of it would have just led to a easy pop-up.
3-1 count here to Ashworth. 2 outs. And swing and a miss for strike 2, so that'll make the count full. Ashworth got a pitch he liked. Can't fault at him for swinging at that one. It was a good one to swing at. He just missed it. So counts full. Probably see Smithers not quite be on the run, but and Ashworth goes down swinging as Bazemore gets out of the jam. And we're through 6 innings. Still no score here from Owen Fulton Field. You're watching the Averett Sports Network. And we're back here for the top half of the 7th inning, still scoreless. Connor Hall up for Marymount. Vericola still on the mound for the Cougars, working into the 7th inning here. Pitch on the way and hit into left field. Smithers came in but got back and got under it for the first out.
Smithers doing a good job of reading that ball out there and knowing that it was not coming in as shallow as he thought, and perhaps the wind got a hold of it, but Smithers realizes it and drops back, makes a nice catch.
Brandon Savage up next for Marymount. Left fielder will take strike one on the outside corner. Vericola deals another strike in there on the outside corner. It worked the first time. Why not go back to it there? And now Savage in the hole, 0-2. That one a little too far outside. Makes the count 1-2. Vericola looks in, pitch on the way, and strike three for his 5th strikeout of the game.
So Vericola doing a very good job, Drew, with the right-handed pitchers. He is working inside, and then on the left-handed pitchers, he's taking them outside, and he's done a very good job on his way now to 5 strikeouts in 6.5 innings of work.
Orbe at the plate, and that one misses low and outside for ball one. This one lined down to third base. Greenblatt down on it, throws over to first base, and there is McLaughlin for the out. So the Cougars get the Saints to go in order here in the top of the 7th inning. Still scoreless here from Owen Fulton Field. You're watching the Averett Sports Network. And we're back here for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Mike Moore leading things off for the Cougars. Takes ball one. We have a defensive change for Marymount, now playing left field is number 26, Nick Smutko. As Moore takes strike one. Savage still pitching, and Moore pops this one up in the infield. Second baseman Burnsett calls everybody off, and he makes the play for the first out.
So Drew Evans now coming up to the plate for Averett. He had the double earlier in the game to give the Cougars their first hit of the afternoon and see if he can repeat that success he found in his last at-bat.
Evans will take a strike from Bazemore. And Evans able to lay off that hooking breaking ball, even the count at 1-1. Evans will pop this one up, but it'll drift out of play along the first base side for strike 2. Starting to see some bullpen action for Marymount. Got 2 guys going down there in case Bazemore runs into some trouble now as we get into these later innings. Does have 83 pitches total so far, and 84 is low and outside for ball 2.
So Drew, he's almost getting into major league pitch count right there with 84, so solid performance for him.
And Evans swings and misses for strike 3.
And really, Bazemore, he has shown here today that he has a very tough combination of off-speed and breaking pitches to go along with that fastball, and just has Evans a little off his toes right there. And it'll be now Kyle Walsh coming in to bat for Averett.
Walsh takes the ball on the first pitch from Bazemore. Walsh 0 for 1, got hit by a pitch earlier, and swings and misses for strike 1.
And Walsh, a good cut on that one. Just couldn't catch up to it.
Bazemore tries to get the breaking ball in there on the inside corner, but just misses. Ball 2. I'd like to remind you, if you were following Averett baseball, that we got a couple schedule changes, so be sure to check AverettCougars.com as the weather has played a factor here. As this one's popped up and looks like it will get out of play. And Walsh have a 2-2 count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. As we said, today's game was supposed to be played tomorrow, so obviously no games tomorrow, and Cougars were scheduled to play at Guilford on Sunday, but that got postponed as well. I believe that one's going to be made up in March 11th, I believe. And then Monday's game, with the crazy weather coming in, some rain and stuff, snow expected. The Cougars have moved that game as well as Walsh fouls that one away. So they will not play Castleton on Monday. They're going to move that game to next Saturday here on the 20th here at Owen Fulton Field. Also, Bridgewater game, which was supposed to be at Bridgewater on Tuesday, is now at Averett on Wednesday. 2-2 pitch on the way to Walsh, high for ball 3.
And, Drew, that's how we always know spring sports are here. When you have a lot of postponements, cancellations, and weather-related issues, you know spring season is upon us.
That's right. It's the one time of year where you're going to see a lot of cancellations as Walsh stays alive, fouls that one away. Still a full count. It's one thing for all of you fans out there, if you have a pocket schedule or poster schedule, be sure to always check the website because you never know when there might be a change due to the weather. Pitch, and Walsh draws the walk. Good job by fouling a few pitches off, and now he reaches with 2 outs.
And good job by Walsh there not to go down chasing. Bazemore was trying to get him to chase on the low fastball, but he lays off and That will set up Billy McLaughlin now.
McLaughlin sends this one up. It's going to stay in play. First baseman drifting over, and Todd will have it for the third out. So Cougars unable to get anything going here in the seventh. Still scoreless as we go to the eighth. You're watching Averett Baseball here on the Averett Sports Network. Back here as Evan Todd will lead things off for Marymount to start the top of the eighth inning. Once again, the sun creeping out here at Owen Fulton Field. Viracola still on the mound for the Cougars. Only 81 pitches, and 82 is a strike here to Todd.
Good breaking ball right there from Viracola. Started in on the hips and then broke out to the outside.
Pitch on the way and in the dirt. Ball one.
Both of these pitchers have done an excellent job here so far today.
Both of them have been very efficient as this ball is hit over to Ashworth and gets under his glove and gets out into right field. So be another error for the Cougars as Evan Todd will reach.
Now batting number 33, Roy Coates.
And Roy Coates now coming up for the Saints. So runner on, nobody out after the error.
Have to see if the Saints maybe play a little small ball here and try to move a runner over. And looks like they will as Coates already showing bunt. He'll pull it back, though, and hit and run was on. The ball drops into left field. A little slasher play there. And now Saints have two aboard here with nobody out and the top of the lineup coming.
So good call right there from the Saints. Showing bunt, drawing in the Cougars infield, and then swinging away. And it will get a runner in scoring position for them. With 2 on, no outs, runners on first and second. And Viracola now in his first real jam today, so we'll see how he adapts to that.
Frank Leone, the Marymount coach, barking out some signals to his team. We'll see what they go here. Maybe they lay down the bunt here for real and move both of those runners over. Both Averett corners coming in. There is a bunt, a wheel play, throw back to second, trying to catch Todd sleeping, but he gets back in time.
And Drew, as you mentioned, nice design play right there and almost worked.
Almost kind of a takeoff of the wheel play. Calderon shows bunt, pulls it back again, but he will take a strike one from Viracola. Start to see somebody throwing down in the Averett bullpen area, but nothing too active yet, as Viracola still out there. Calderon shows the bunt, goes to Viracola. He'll go over to third base, and they will get the lead runner on the fielder's choice. So great turn and throw by Viracola to get the lead runner and the first out.
And great decision right there to know to go to third and not risk the throw across your body.
Those are dangerous plays, Davin, as if you misfire going over to third and that ball gets away, you might have 2 or 3 runners score depending on where it ends up. So good job by Viracola to maintain his balance, spin move, and throw to third. Still not out of the jam yet. There's only 1 out. And ball goes way outside. Almost looked like a pitch out. Don't think that was the call, though. Viracola might have just lost the grip on it. So 1-0 count here to Luke Tyree. Tyree does have 1 of the 2 hits today. He's 1 for 3. And hits the inside corner for Viracola, so 1-1 count. Cougars aren't holding the runners on. Playing a double play depth. Ball popped up down the third base line in foul territory. Greenblatt fades back and gets it for out number 2. Huge plays here by the Cougars. And now they're just 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
And you're right, Drew. You know, a couple of big plays there. They had the fake bunt turned into hit and run, and it looked like Marymount had a little something started there, but Viracola has responded well and has now retired 2 in a row.
Pitch on the way to Bursek and drops in there for strike 1. Good-looking breaking ball there by Viracola. It's his 91st pitch of the afternoon. Pitch in the dirt, gets away from Wall, and it'll be a wild pitch. That'll move the runners up from up a bag, so runners at second and third now. Now a little bit of more pressure on the Cougars.
And Drew, maybe a plus of it being a little bit chillier today. You know, Viracola, as you mentioned earlier, 92nd pitch coming up here. And maybe a little bit of a plus today, not as warm and not having to fight the heat, but you're still having to fight some pretty cold temperatures too. So
Bursek takes the pitch from Viracola, and he'll foul that one away. 1-2 is the count to Bursek. Viracola looks in, pitch on the way, just misses the outside corner for ball 2. So 2-2 count here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. Runners at second and third for the Saints. Viricola looks in. Senior gets one he likes. Pitch on the way, and strike three looking on the inside corner, and Viricola fired up as he comes off the mound, and rightfully so. Gets out of a huge jam there, Davin, and the Cougars able to escape that one.
And really hats off to Viricola right there, and just really goes to show you his prowess on the mound.
Cougars hopefully take that momentum into the bottom half of the eighth when we come back. You're watching Averett Baseball here on the Averett Sports Network. So Trey Wall leading things off here in the bottom half of the eighth inning for Averett. Colin Bazemore still on the mound for Marymount, as both pitchers have been super efficient today. And Wall fouls this one out of play to the left side.
Well, both teams getting two good starts out of their pitchers for the first game of the season.
Pitch on the way, and ground ball over to shortstop. Hall with the throw over. Good stretch at first base by Evan Todd, and they're able to get Wall by about a step and a half for the first out.
So Wall, good hustle down there. Just a better play there on the ground ball. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Noah Greenblatt. And we'll see if he can get something started for the Cougars, as we are 7.5 innings through this one. No score here at Owen Fulton Field.
Greenblatt batting in the number 9 hole today, and that one taken for a ball in the dirt way outside. Prime opportunity here as the Cougars, depending on what happens this inning, could have the meat of their order up either with some runners on this inning or going into the final, or what could be the final 9th inning if they can get some runs and hold the Saints here. So 1-1 count here to Greenblatt. Pitch on the way from Bazemore. Hits the outside corner for strike 2.
And Drew, you're talking about the meat of the order. That was one thing that Fulton was very excited about this season. Really feels like he's got some guys that can drive in runs.
Pitch coming from Bazemore and fouled out of play. So Greenblatt stays alive. Wind picking up just a little bit. The flag in center field going from right to left and fouled away by Greenblatt. So he able to get a little piece of that one and stay alive. 1-2 still the count. Pitch on the way, and Greenblatt, little nubber up the middle, takes a funny hop, and it's going to be a base hit. So Greenblatt with the single up the middle, and that'll put him on with one out here. We're going to have a pinch runner.
And number 13, Ramel Reynolds, is going to pinch run for Greenblatt as Vadano comes up to the plate. So Vadano, a very speedy guy. So let's see if Fulton has the bunt on here.
I think you maybe try just a steal and then maybe try a bunt and see what happens. See if you can use Reynolds' speed to your advantage before you have to put yourself in play. So Vadano at the plate. Quick throw over to just check Reynolds, and he's back easily. See if Reynolds maybe takes off here with one out. Another throw over to first base. Not really trying to get Reynolds, but just trying to make him think about staying close.
And Drew, you know, you made the comment earlier about try to get the steal down and then see what Vadano can do from there, and we'll see if that's what's going on.
Pitch on the way high for a ball.
And Vadano steps back in. It's a 1-0 count right now. One out, bottom of the 8th at Owen Fulton Field.
Another throw over to first base. Reynolds back. Reynolds gets another good step at first. Bazemore looking him back. Pitch on the way and hit right to second base. It gets through into center field. Reynolds going to try his. And they're going to call a runner's interference on the shortstop as Reynolds ran him over. So everybody's going to be safe. So it's
The interference call, that is now going to put runners on second and third with one out. And they're going out for a conference on the mound. Bazemore has done a really great job here so far in this ballgame. He's got 7 1/3 under his belt, 4 hits, and has pitched shutout ball, but he is in his first real jam of the day, and let's see if they're going to stay with him. It looks like they are going to call on their bullpen. They do, and Bazemore's afternoon is over, but a great job by the sophomore right-hander out of Mechanicsville.
So we will have a pitching change. It will be number 19 coming in. And number 19 is Charlie DeGuillian.
And you see Fulton down there having a conversation with Reynolds, Vadano, and then Smithers as we have this pause in play.
Got to think with one out, you got a couple different options you can have. Maybe trying to bunt if you can make sure you get one past the pitcher down the line one way or the other. With Reynolds' speed, you think he can beat a throw home, but you got to make sure the bunt gets far enough away to where it's not going to be an issue.
You're right.
You don't have to worry about the double play. That's taken out of play here with runners at second and third. So there are, if you let him swing away, maybe he gets a hit and you keep this thing rolling, or maybe he brings two runners in, especially with, your number two hitter. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here, especially against a new pitcher. I would imagine you at least take a pitch or two, see what the new pitcher has for Marymount.
And you see the whole Cougar team out there right now. They're kind of trying to get a feel for him on the sidelines and see what he's throwing, trying to time his speed, time the break, and time the pitch selection. And, Drew, you're right. Reynolds, very speedy guy. And then also you've got Vadano on first, who is another speedy guy. So, really, even at this point, if Smithers can just get in a little bloop single in the right spot, could possibly score 2 runs.
Marymount playing this one with the infield in. They are going to try to come home if it's close enough. Try to keep this a tie 0-0 game. And pitch inside, but hits the corner for strike one. One thing for the Cougars, if the infield's playing in, it's a lot easier to get a ball through the infield, you would think, if it's on the ground.
You're right, especially hit between the infielders.
That one in the dirt. Good block there by Coates behind the plate. Because if that gets through, that is a run. So that's another thing that comes into play. As Cougars have their first runner on third base today. And time is called. 1-1 count here with one out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still 0-0 your score. Runners at second and third. Dallas Smithers at the plate. Pitch on the way and hit into left field. That's going back. That's going to score 1. It's going to score 2. And it's going to drop in for a double. Smithers with the double there and brings in 2 runs, and we have our first runs of the year.
And, Drew, we were talking about it just before the play with the infield, being in so much, and then the outfield was in as well, and just Smithers finds a perfect spot in left field to put it, and he will have a 2-run double for his first RBIs as a Cougar.
Have to wonder if that ball got caught up there in the wind.
Well, we saw it as the left fielder was running back. The tarp out there started blowing a little bit, so I definitely do think the wind was a little bit of an issue on that one, but we will take it either way as 2 runs come in. And
still more to come possibly with Smithers at second base, and Ashworth takes that one a little too far inside for ball 1. Only 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th as the Cougars finally gotten on the scoreboard. One-0 pitch, and Ashworth pops this one up along the first base side and just gets over the dugout of Marymount. So 1-1 count. Ball to Ashworth.
So Dallas Smithers in his first game as a Cougar is now 2 for 4 and has a pair of RBIs, and they may be the difference in this ball game.
Cougars would certainly like to add at least one more here to give them some insurance going into that 9th inning. 2-1 pitch on the way. Smithers going, and this one's hit into center field. It's going to be deep center field, and that's going to bring in Smithers as Ashworth gets into second base with a double. So back-to-back RBI doubles here for the Cougars, and they take a 3-0 lead.
And that's going to bring up Mike Moore now to the plate. And Mike Moore going to try to keep it going. Only one out here so far. And Averett has now put together 3 consecutive runs here.
And it looks like we're going to have another pitching change. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have who it is here. As Averett with a 3-0 lead over Marymount in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And we're back here at Owen Fulton Field, and the new pitcher for Marymount is number 34, John LaMotta, the junior out of Philadelphia. Will take the mound here as Averett has already scored 3 runs this inning. And he'll come in with 1 out on the board and a runner at second base after Hunter Ashworth got that RBI double. LaMotta, a right-hander. He'll face the designated hitter for the Cougars, Mike Moore. So Mike Moore steps in. First pitch from LaMotta almost hits Moore. It'll be a ball. Cougars would love to add at least one more here with Ashworth in scoring position, only 1 out. As they've broken this one open a little bit after we went through 7.5 scoreless innings. More swings and misses at that one. Evens the count at 1-1.
And really, this has broke up a very close pitcher's duel between these two teams, in the first 7.5 innings, but Averett has been able to strike with 3 so far this inning.
One pitch on the way, and Moore thinks about it, pulls it back, and takes ball 2. Just missed hitting the inside corner. Ball gets away. Be a wild pitch, and Ashworth scoots on over to third base, and be a 3-1 count with a runner on third for Moore. So Moore. 3-1 count. Infield comes in now, maybe trying to hold back the runner from coming in. And that one hits him right in the head.
And tough shot right there, taken by Moore, but
I think that one ricocheted all the way out of the fence.
Throwing with a little bit of meaning behind it there. definitely not intentional there, but that ball definitely did travel. And so now number 43, Drew Evans, comes up to the plate. Before this inning, the only Cougar to have been in scoring position all game.
So runners on the corners here with one out. Evans at the plate. Throw over. Moore back in time. You got to think there's probably a steal going on here if you're the Cougars. Chances are they'll probably let Mike Moore get down to second base. If they throw down there, then you have a chance of letting Ashworth come back. So if you send Moore, probably the positives outweigh the negatives.
They really are. And, like you said, Drew.
And we're actually going to have a pinch runner. It'll be number 3, Chris Campbell, coming in. Pitch run for Moore.
You throw down to second on the steal. Ashworth can very easily come in, and it's something that the Cougars have worked on during practice this season.
And Evans will take strike 1. Didn't expect Campbell to go on that one as he just got in the game. Didn't even have a chance to really warm up. So maybe he goes here. We'll see. Runners on the corners here with one out. 0-1 count to Evans. No movement on the base pass. That one's in the dirt for ball 1.
And at this point, Averett could definitely benefit from another run. Make it a 4-0, maybe even 5-0 game going into the final frame.
Throw over, Campbell back safely. Campbell been at Averett for a few years, hasn't been on the baseball team, but he did run a semester of cross country. So has some running ability there. Evans throws down the bunt, and it's a good one. And that'll score Ashworth. Sacrifice bunt for Drew Evans. And that makes it 4-0 in favor of the Cougars.
And you have to give Evans props there for the nice little dance moves. Trying to avoid the tag. So it's going to be number 23, Kyle Walsh, coming up to the plate for the Cougars. So have Campbell on second, 2 outs, 4 runs in this inning for Averett.
3U, sack B.
And
so sacrifice bunt by Evans. Another solid play here for the Cougars in this inning. Walsh pops this one up and won't get out much further out of the infield as second baseman Berkzek slides back and gets that one, but not before the Cougars tackle on 4 runs here to take a 4-0 lead as we go to the last frame of the game. We'll be back here for that right here on the Averett Sports Network. Cougars lead Marymount 4-0. And we're back here for the top half of the ninth inning. Some defensive changes for the Cougars. Ramel Reynolds stays into play center field after coming in to pinch run and score that first run for the Cougars. Drew Evans moves over to right field from center field, and Kyle Walsh moves from right field to third base here. And TJ Bickerl is still on the mound for the Cougars in the top of the ninth. Ryan Blake is the first batter. A little chopper down first base. Goes under the glove of Billy McLaughlin. We'll see what that's ruled. And it looks like it will be an error on McLaughlin.
And Drew, we have seen the ball take some weird hops here today, and with it being so cold outside, it is to be expected.
I tell you, you're so used to a ball dribbling a certain way, and then the temperatures being so cold, really easy. The ground just becomes like concrete, and the ball just doesn't bounce like it normally does. And I think that's contributed a little bit to the Cougars' 3 errors so far today, as strike one called to Connor Hall.
And Vericola doing a good job of keeping that ball down, trying to get the double play right there.
Ball hit deep into left field. Smithers going back, and that one's against the wall. Runner coming to third and holding is Blake. So Hall with a stand-up double here with no outs. So Marymount not going away quietly here in the top of the ninth inning.
And really, Smithers making a great play right there on a well-hit ball by Blake, and just doing a great job to get in there and get that throw in and hit his cutoff man to keep that runner at third.
We'll see Nick Smutko get his first at-bat of the day after entering as a defensive replacement in left field a little while ago. No outs here. Runners on second and third. Vericola, the bunt goes down. Some indecision there. Somebody's going to get caught. And they're going to say double play on an injury. Wild play there. We'll have to see, but the umpire signaled 2 outs.
And we've got a man down on third over there. I believe that is Walsh.
That's the runner, Blake. Lead runner.
Excuse me, Blake.
We hope that Blake is okay.
I wonder if he collided with Walsh over there at third base, or
I know Walsh wasn't anywhere near the bag. He might have just
caught his hand.
Come back, tried to get back to the bag, and just slid funny. Can't really tell what he might have hurt, and don't want to speculate, obviously. He is holding his arm.
Well, we hope he's okay. He had that very tough base hit right there a little bit ago, and he is being helped off the field. Looks like he is, it's nothing too serious, but we wish him the best of luck moving forward here. And we will see what the call is going to be on. And it looks like it's still going to count as a double play. So we will have 2 outs. As the Cougars make a good defensive play protecting that bunt. Vericola realizing some indecision there on the part of the Saints. And lead to the 2 outs. So it seemed like Marymount had something going here and definitely cut short.
Cougars got lucky there as Brandon Orbe in there with 2 outs and swings and misses on the breaking ball.
And Vericola is now just 1 out away from a complete game during his very first start of the season. So, Drew, definitely would be a good start for Vericola.
Absolutely. Get you some momentum going into the season and get a big performance here as that one hits the outside corner for strike 2, and Marymount down to its final strike. Still a runner on first base here with 2 outs. Averett up 4-0. Vericola looks in. Purpose pitch outside in the dirt for the ball.
Good setup pitch there from Vericola. Tried to get Orbe chasing right there, and good patience from Orbe to lay off that one.
One-two pitch to Orbe on the way. Little chopper through the left side. Good job by Walsh to knock it down, but it will be a single by Orbe.
And so Marymount's day will continue here. And they now have runners on first and second with 2 outs. And it's going to be number 43, Evan Todd, coming up, the first baseman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Is a freshman, so we will see what he can do. Will he be able to keep the Saints rally alive?
Pitch on the way. Looked like he wanted to swing at that one, but didn't, and it is a strike. Vericola trying to finish things off here. As we said, he had 2 complete games last year. Trying to get that final out in the opener here today. That one hits the outside corner for strike 2, so 0-2 count to Todd.
And we'll see if Vericola can lock it down right here. It would be an incredible start to the season. Complete game shutout.
And just misses the outside corner. Boy, they really wanted that one. But still 1-2 count here with 2 outs. Runners on second and first.
And that one did cut a little bit outside.
Vericola looks in. Pitch on the way and fouled out of play to the right side. So Todd doing a good job staying alive.
It's been a very well-played game here today between these two teams, with the Cougars not getting on the board until the bottom of the 8th. But when they got on the board, they picked up 4. And let's see if that's going to be enough to hold them.
Vericola looking in. Pitch on the way, popped up, and will it get out? Looks like it will. So Todd staying alive again.
I thought we were going to have a Marymount fan go after that one right there.
Vericola at 108 pitches. Still pretty efficient considering 9 innings worth of work. He looks in. 1-2 is your count to Evan Todd. Pitch on the way and a little chopper down. Kyle Walsh fires over to first base, and McLaughlin with the stretch gets it, and that'll be it as the Cougars pick up a 4-0 win here in the season opener against Marymount. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have our post-game show here on the Averett Sports Network. And we're back here for the post-game show as Averett picks up the 4-0 season opening win against Marymount. Cougars solid game by TJ Viracola, Davin, as he went the full 9 innings, got the complete game shutout, and got the season off to a great start here for Averett.
And really was a great performance by TJ coming in the whole 9 innings, finished with, 108 pitches on the afternoon?
109, I believe, if you count that last one. So
a good performance from him here. The 4 hits, and never really, with the exception of that last hit there at the end of the game, not too many hard hit balls either by the Saints. So Viracola doing a good job with mixing his pitches and locations and gets the opening day victory.
Absolutely, and as we said, he had 2 complete games all of last year. Already has 1 this year and has a shutout. So solid start for him. And you got to look at the Cougars. I mean, first game of the year, cold conditions. You weren't sure. You're never sure what your offense is going to do. It can either go one of 2 ways depending on how the pitching goes. And so for the Cougars to come away, get those runs when they absolutely needed them, and pull away here in the final couple innings, it is good to see. And I think the offense, you'll see that pick up once they get a little bit more comfortable. And I don't think that's anything to worry about here, as the Cougars ended up with 6 hits today after being hitless for about the first 5 or so innings. So I think the Cougars obviously off to a good start, and they'll feel good about this one for the most part.
I think so too. And Drew, you were talking about the cold conditions, and really all game long we never really saw the balls flying off the bats that hard. And I think a lot of that did have to do, like you said, with the cold weather. And I think Ed Fulton and his staff and the rest of the team will feel very comfortable with their offense as the season progresses.
When we look at having a player of the game, Davin, and a couple different choices you could look at. Maybe you look at Dallas Smithers, the newcomer, with a huge 2 RBI double. Went 2 for 4, I believe, today. But I think I'm going to have to go with TJ Viracola with the job he did on the mound. Just a solid performance in order to get the Cougars the win. I mean, he pretty much owned the Saints all day, and when he did get in trouble, he got out of trouble.
And I'm right there with you, Drew. Couldn't have said it better myself. He really did. He did a great job of working down the stretch, and really just when he was in trouble, he knew what he had to do, and he knew the pitches he needed to throw and where he needed to throw them, and that's what he did. Executed the Cougars' game plan very well today.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to see the Cougars get off to the win here. We're going to sign off, but thanks for joining us here on the Averett Sports Network's broadcast of Averett Baseball. We're looking forward to bringing you lots of games this year here, both from baseball and softball for the first time, really, in a long time. Now that we have some internet access out here, we can give you more than just live stats. So look forward to that. Mark your calendars, and when we don't have any conflicts, we will definitely be hooking you up with some broadcasts here on the Averett Sports Network. Looking ahead, we got some big games coming up, and I don't think we will be webcasting the next game on next Wednesday against Bridgewater, because we have senior night at basketball for the men's team, and the women's team taking on Methodist, and men's team taking on NC Wesleyan, and a doubleheader at the Grand Center that was already scheduled, whereas the baseball game was moved, so we had already planned on doing the basketball, so we're going to stay with that schedule since it's the end of their season. And, of course, senior night and last home game for the men. So we'll only have live stats for you next Wednesday, but we will have an updated schedule here coming up for some webcasts for the Averett baseball team. But Cougars come away with this one with a 4-0 win over Marymount and improve to 1-0 in the season. And for everybody here in the press box, and Davin, I'd like to thank you for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
And so go Cougars with the win. And if you want the final box score, be sure to check averettcougars.com for the recap and the box score. So good evening from Old Fulton Field. Cougars win 4-0. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of the Averett Sports Network.